I had to do the countdown, and it says that I'm live right now. Hello, women who thrive. My name is Kim Fox Dunnigan, and I am going to share some tips and tricks with you about digital media. I was just talking to Dr. Leith, and we're looking at making this an ongoing thing every month. So, but I do want to start off first by saying how much I love and truly appreciate women who thrive. I don't know if you guys, how active you are, how aware your posts are. I mean, you're aware of the posts, but just take some time and look at them because they're always there. The goal of this ministry is to encourage and empower women. And so Dr. Letha works really hard to give us tools and just to minister to our 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 person, but also our spirit person, our spirit, that thing that God has made uniquely different and uniquely special for each of us. So if you get a chance, and I'll say it again at the end, just a reminder, but make sure you invite your friends to join Women Who Thrive. You will not, and you should know from your experience, they will not regret it. They will get so much information and resources and support. So today, so this is my first time using StreamYard, but I think I got it figured out. So you guys are right now, and tell me if I'm talking too fast, because sometimes I do that too. But right now, you are looking at our introductory screen, which our digital marketing class. And today we're going to talk about social media platforms for your small business. So I can tell you, let me tell you a little bit about myself and why I like to do this and who I am, because right now I'm just a face you guys haven't seen before. So again, my name is Kim Fox Dunnigan. I have a master's in digital storytelling from Loyola University in Chicago. I spend a lot of time. Thank you, Teen Hop. I saw my comment on the thing. I'm sorry. Let me get focused. That was exciting. Okay, so my ministry, my own personal ministry, is to help small businesses to thrive or strive, similar to what Women Who Thrive does, but mine is just from specifically related to videography, social media, digital marketing, podcasting, all of those things that are digital. So I spend quite a bit of my time in those areas. In fact, I work part time for a ministry doing all of our video trainings and managing our website. And it doesn't feel like work. You know how they say, you found your calling when it doesn't feel like work. I don't feel like I go to work every day. I feel like I go to work in my ministry, and it's such a joy, and it gives me such peace. So I'm here today to share some of the knowledge that I have gained over time. So let's go ahead and talk about digital marketing. So this is a PowerPoint slide, just a heads up. All of the information may show up on the slide. If it does, it's okay. We're going to go through it step by step anyway. So, and if at any time you want to ask a question, feel free to comment. And so, social media, if you notice, it's huge, it's everywhere. It's not just like a national thing, it is international. And so, there are 4.8 billion people on social media worldwide. So that includes all of the platforms, not just Facebook, not just LinkedIn, but all of them. The average person has 6.6 social media accounts, basically. They're on at least six platforms. I can say that's probably true for myself too. Sometimes it takes up more time than I need to let it, but it does. 93% of internet users are on social media. So that slim 7% probably will eventually convert. Um, 4.8 billion social media users. 99% of them access websites through a mobile device, which is important to know. So just make a mental note about that, because it used to be that we access them through laptops and desktops. But now so much is on our phones. Our phones are so powerful that a lot of what we do is done immediately through the tool in our hands. So that impacts design too. So we're going to talk about that eventually. Just in case I don't get to it today, we will talk about that. How does that impact commerce? So basically, 81% of consumers make purchasing decisions that are influenced by their friends' social media posts. So basically, that's why it's so important that we're always saying share, 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 especially as a small business, because this kind of solidifies that. Someone else may see that sharing your friend's page about your business and can become curious and search you out. So sharing doesn't cost anything. So even when it comes to your personal social media and you have a friend that has a small business, just share it. It takes you 2 seconds and it can be a blessing to someone else's gifts. 66% of consumers have been inspired to purchase from a new brand after seeing it on social media. After seeing social media images, breathe from other consumers. So consumers are 71% more likely to make a purchase based on social media referrals. See, all of this again comes to that connectedness and sharing that is so rooted in social media. 31% of consumers say they are using social media channels to browse new items to purchase. So, all of those things for you as a small business owner are more reasons that you need to have a social media presence. And so, I'm going to take some time because there are quite a few of them, and I may not get to all of them today, but there are so many social media platforms that you can be using to boost your sales, to make people aware that you are out there. So, and I want you to kind of think of social media in that way. It's, yeah, you want people to buy from you, but your main goal is to get your products and services in front of as many people as you can and to build it's called brand awareness of who you are and what you do. And the sales and stuff will come, as you grow your influence and your presence on the internet. Or internet, that sounds so 80s, 90s. I just said 90s. Okay, next slide. So here we go. So remember I said there's a ton of social media platforms. I couldn't cover them all, and this is just really ones that I'm most familiar with. So there are some international platforms that rank pretty high as far as users. Notice that this is monthly users in millions. So Facebook is number one, like far ahead of TikTok and Snapchat. It's like where we are now. It's where women who thrive live. It's on Facebook. So there's so many opportunities on Facebook, and I'll go into those a little bit farther down the road. YouTube. I know we don't think about it as social media, but it is. It's just another platform that uses video to relay messages. And we've all heard about people, making really good money on YouTube. And they've done that because they've become experts. They've been consistent in posting. So WhatsApp, that's one I just encountered like last year. And I'm totally, full disclosure, I need to do more research into how people use WhatsApp. I've only used it as an app for communication with international clients. So that's the only reason I've used it so far, but I know there's more to it. Instagram, we've heard of. They have 1.478 million monthly users every single month. TikTok, not far behind. TikTok is very interesting. I'm excited about TikTok, and I'll share some more about them on their slide. Snapchat, Pinterest, Reddit, and Twitter. So those round out the top, what is that, like 8? As you see, and it's not all of them. Again, they're international ones that I did not include simply because I don't know enough about them to speak from a space that's comfortable for me, because I want to know what I'm, be confident in what I'm sharing. So if anyone has comments on those other ones, please feel free to share. So, impact on of social media on how consumers spend. Now, you see my little graphic got off, so that just irritated me just a little bit, but it's okay. It still gives you the same message. 81% of shoppers research online before purchasing. So that's most people are going to go online before they decide to buy somewhere. And the good thing is, like, now people are being very intentional about supporting small businesses. So this is a really good season for a small business owner. 74% of consumers rely on social media to guide purchasing decisions. 91% of customers have visited a store because of an online experience. That's amazing. That's most shoppers. So here we go, the deep dive. Which platform is best for you? So I want you, as I'm going through this information, think about who your customers are, because depending on what you do, you have an idea of, or you should. If you don't, now is the time to really start looking at, like, who is your ideal customer, because that's going to determine which platforms you use. um, we already have so much that we're doing in life, and we're balancing so much, and a lot of times our businesses are actually side hustles. We are doing them on the weekends, outside of all of our other responsibilities. So if you know who your customers are, then you don't have to waste time on platforms that don't have the people you're looking for. So for instance, if you have say your audience is teenagers. Teenagers are not doing Facebook. So you wouldn't want to spend an hour of your time creating social media posts for Facebook for something that's geared toward a teenager, because guess what? They're not going to see it. So think about who you're working with. Think about your perfect customer. And it's general, it's male or female. How old are they? What are their shopping habits? Eventually, I'm working on a workbook that will help you to, like, literally sit down and start visualizing, as part of your marketing plan, who is your perfect customer. So I'll share that out in the next few months and give you some insight into it along the way. So let's get started. All right, so here we go. The first one, most popular, is Facebook. Facebook allows for posting in any length or format and is pretty user friendly. Most of us, where some of you guys are viewing this in Women Who Thrive, in the Facebook group, but a lot of us are just familiar with Facebook. And so that's partly why I started here. They have a pretty robust e-commerce marketing, and user friendly when it comes to creating your ads for your products or pages. So let's take a look and see what else we can learn about Facebook. So the first thing I looked at is your users. So remember how I said teenagers are not on Facebook? They're not. Like, apparently we made it uncool, and even saying uncool for teenagers or young adults to be there, because again, their parents and grandparents are there, so they don't necessarily want to be on that same platform. So that leaves a pretty big number still of age range of 20, averaging 25 to 34. So with that being average, keep in mind, you still have that percentage above and percentage below. So this, don't let that discredit, except for teenagers. Don't let that discredit Facebook. Again, it's increasing among boomers. So I think I'm post boomer. I think my mom and dad are boomers. I don't know, but I don't want to age myself either. So, but anyway, it is popular amongst men and women. And you see that smaller percentage of users, are that 23%, are under the age of 24, which is still a pretty nice niche when you look at how large the numbers are. And as many of you already know, you can share images or photos, links, text, live live like us, or embed a video. Strategies for Facebook to consider is it's very relationship building is key. So you want to create a sense of community for your business, where you're providing something that connects with your audience, your potential clients. Um, it allows for local advertising. You can go in and create an ad, and you can start with like as little as $25, and target a specific city if you want to, with a specific age group and interest. I know this because I've done it quite often. And then you can track how many impressions or how many people have seen your Facebook ad. You can create a group or a page. So, something I want you to think about. I know your brand is part of who you are, but you also have personal things on your Facebook pages. So I would suggest that you think about creating a group or definitely a business page for your business or services for two reasons. One, you can separate the two because you don't want customers as you grow your business seeing those pictures of you that may not be as flattering and just really designed for friends and families to see. So if you create a page for your business, you can keep that separate and keep your brand consistent. And always share from your personal page. You can share your business page out with friends and family and stuff, and encourage them to like it and grow it for you. But I would just suggest, for privacy reasons and brand consistency, that you create a page for your business. A group is similar to what we do here with the Women Who Thrive. You can make it private or public. And that's really about creating a sense of community too. If you make it private and say you're a counselor or a doula, you may make it private because you only want your clients to have access to the things that you put into this private group. And mind you, you're still considering, because of the confidentiality, you're still considering their personal information even in that private group. But you can just post things that are a little more a little, I won't say private, but something that you would not want everyone to be aware of. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me know if it does or not in the comment section. Hey, can you guys let me know how is my pacing, and am I talking too fast or too slow? Um, Another thing, last thing, is you should plan to post one to two times per day on social media. Now, I'm sorry, on Facebook specifically. Now, Facebook allows for you to schedule these too, so you can knock all of those out in one afternoon in like a half hour, 45 minutes, and not have to worry about it the rest of the week. But at least posting once to two times a day is ideal, is recommended for Facebook. Next is Instagram. Now, I heard the short, this is making me uncool again. It's okay. I'm used to not being cool. But Instagram has over 1 billion users. It's a visual medium, and it supports images and videos. And as you can tell, its primary audience is age 18 to 34. So it's just a younger set. Um, they are a large bulk. You notice how that 25 to 34-year-olds are 31% of their users. Now, I've included age on these because age groups have different characteristics. And so if you know that once you create your ideal customer is in a certain age group, then you want to research and see what are the characteristics of this age group, because you're going to do things differently once you have that information, because you don't want to design something that's for an older audience and you're trying to put it on Instagram, it's not going to work because there is not going to gain traction when your audience is in a different group set. So it's popular with millennials and it's split pretty evenly between men and women. So that's an interesting, that's something to think about. If you have a product that's universal, hey, you have a good likelihood of connecting with someone on Instagram. And I found too, so I included the college degrees because now it had been. Economy is interesting right now, but there was a time where a degree would allot a certain amount of disposable income. So if you're providing a service that kind of falls into you need someone to have disposable income to really want to purchase your product, that's important to know. You want to go to a somewhere like Instagram where their budgets may be a little higher. So you may do a $70 t-shirt design. Well, if your audience does not have the disposable resources, they may like it, but they're not going to buy it. They're not going to follow through it because it's outside of their budget. It's not what they plan on spend. But you go to Instagram where people have that budget and they can buy your $70 t-shirt. So just something to keep in mind. And that's kind of the reason that I added age to these. On Instagram, you can share images. So as long as it's an image, now you can also put text on the images. So I'll show you a cool tool that I use called Canva that you can, and there are other tools out there that will allow you to put text on top of images. You can also share live and embedded videos on Instagram. So it's not just a still. You can do a quick video, shout out, thank you, to your followers. Strategies for using it. Keep these things in mind. On Instagram, users are following their interests. So things that are of interest to them, like this says the highest ones were travel, music, food, and drinks. So if you're any of those categories, remember how, think about it, back when we used to all take pictures of food and post it on social media, mainly Facebook. Well, Instagram has that now. So you can, that's where people are to look at those types of things and the travel. And granted, I like a good video of people cooking. It's sad, like, and I'm getting off track, but I'm going to come back. It's sad because, like, most of my feed are people cooking and recipes and stuff. So I like food. I need to be on Instagram more. But anyway, so I'm going to focus. It's so useful to share photos of your products or events that happen on at your business, or food. If you're a chef, you might want to show some dishes and put a little note, a link to your stuff, your website. For them, it's good to post 3 to 7 times per week. So that seems like a pretty high number if you look at compared to like Facebook. Well, I guess you do the math, you're equaling out. No. So I'm not a mathematician. That's why I'm in marketing, because it's numbers. So if there's a math person, let me know how badly I just did with those equations. All right. So our next one is Twitter. And so Twitter has 229 million monthly users, which is not a small number. They've kind of lost traction over the last few years, and I don't know if anyone keeps up, but Elon Musk had attempted to or withdrew his offer to buy Twitter. So I don't know what that's going to look like. And I see from a comment, okay, so I'm going to pause real quick. There's a question. Although I'm retired, I cannot post several times a day. I know it's too time consuming. I totally agree. So I don't see your name, but a suggestion is there are scheduling tools. So if you're on Facebook, use the Facebook scheduler. And I need to, the name is, if you have a page, you can use, or a group, you can use the scheduler to plot out your posts, so you're not doing it every day. You're set aside like an hour, if that, to sit and say, on Wednesday the 24th, I want this post and I'm saying this. On Thursday the 25th, I want this post and saying this. And at this time. And so you're scheduling all that out at one time, and you don't have to go back and do it like every day. Because I agree, like, even though you're retired, it is hard. I'm working every day and it's like, it takes up a lot of time. But when I do it once a week, I just let it run its course and I don't have to look at it again until the next week. So another, what's a good platform to sell children's books? So that's a good question. Um, I've been seeing, and so I'm always curious. Like Amazon, they have a KDP, but it's all a lot of this because there's a lot of people out there selling. That's the reality. So it's important for you to, like, especially selling a children's book, to be consistent and find like children's groups and find library groups and say, hey, can I sell my book here? Can I offer to read? Especially now with everything being remote, classrooms, um, daycares, they can bring an author in virtually now. So you can read your book, and then while you're reading your story, you talk to the administrators and say, hey, these books are X amount. Would your school or organization be interested in purchasing a few copies from me? And you say, thank you. Um, Another thing to do is consider creating an animated video for your book. So here's the thing. So if you put it on YouTube, of course, it's going to be granted um, at no cost. But as you build viewers on your video, you keep marketing, keep growing, then you can be compensated through that marketing. So it's just something to kind of think about, because sometimes we have to look around in different ways, but always, like, create a page for your book and start sharing little details or little facts about literacy in your book, or give your characters more life and share the characters on the page, and whoever has, whatever that character is having a good day or she's having a hard day, and she talked to her mom because she was feeling sad. And do you have those days? Just something to think outside the box and get your brand in front of people, get your characters in front of people. Um, and I see I'm going to need a lesson on scheduling my post. Thank you for this information. Oh, nice to meet you, Joanne. I'm Kim, and thank you for commenting. And I talk too much sometimes, so I do apologize in advance. So I'm going to refocus. So our next slide, I think, so Twitter is where we were at. And so what makes Twitter unique and challenging at the same time is that you only have 140 characters. And so I have clients who have Twitter accounts, and it can be challenging to come up with, because I can do this long thing on Facebook and really explain like my graphic, but Twitter stops you at 146 characters. It is doable, but it's just really, it's a skill you get after doing it for a while. And you can combine text and images in your post on Twitter. So let's look a little deeper into Twitter. So the average age, I found this interesting. So the age is 25 to 35, and it's mostly men in their 30s. So that's kind of really niche. Um, but it's not um if your audience is men. So I'm sorry, the person that had the children's book, some of these men are dads. So if you create posts and you give dads some things that they can do with their kids, some tips for dads, and it's big on dads, then use that some of your time to focus on that audience over there, because they purchase things too. So just something to think about. They're educated and wealthy. So again, it goes to that disposable income. They're looking for news, discussion, and humor. So those are kind of key to, as you're creating your post, to draw some traction. Make them fit into those areas. Give them something to talk about. If you're doing a book and you have a dad in your story, and dad went to work today, he had a hard day, and you may do that graphic, and then you may say to Twitter, have you had those kind of days? And then you said put a link to your book in there, and you want people to post and you want to respond to those posts. So again, it's images, with text or without. You can do it either way. You can put links in your description, and you can do videos as well. So another strategy to consider, again, like I said, it's a male audience. So you want to gear your things, even, and we'll talk about this another time, like your branding colors and being consistent in your colors. If you have a brand that's masculine, you want to have masculine colors. You don't want to have like light lilac-y colors on posts that's geared toward a masculine audience. So something to think about as you're creating that. You want to have, even in the form of your letters, you want them to be strong, and not so wavy curly, because you're looking at a masculine audience. And so by nature, they're not gonna, they see it too girlified, and it's like, oh, that's not for me. So you would, discount yourself from a potential customer just for your visuals. So just something to think about. Tweet 1 to 5 times per day. Engagement with all of these platforms is important to respond. And again, they're looking for, I put that in 2 places because apparently it was important, or I just forgot to erase the first column and put it over the second column. So, but that's Twitter, and we're doing okay on time because there's a couple more, and there's some things I want to talk to you about. So I think we're doing good. Again, if you have comments or questions, and if I'm going too fast, because I have to consciously say, Kim, slow yourself down because you talk a lot and you talk fast. So I will not get offended. Or if you need me to repeat myself, just give me a comment. So TikTok, 1 billion monthly users. So this kind of blew my mind. I find myself enjoying TikTok videos a lot. Um, Thank you, user who just said I'm doing great. Yay! I wonder if that's like a friend or family member, but either way, I take it. So back to TikTok. So it is like one of the fastest growing social media platforms out there now. So as a small business, this is ideal for you to get in on this level and start creating content, because as more people join TikTok, you're already starting to build your presence. And again, it is not going to happen overnight. So I want everybody at this moment to say to yourself, it's not going to happen overnight. It will take time for me to build my brand. The key is that you are consistent. So if you get into TikTok now and start consistently making these TikTok videos, by the time the adoption on a wider level, as people continue to join TikTok, you would have already started doing the work. And so just something to think about. And it's in short video format. And you don't have to be professional. Don't feel like, oh, I can't do a video, it doesn't look right, yada yada yada. Look at some of these TikTok videos that are popular. They don't have video skills, they just have something to say that people liked. So just something to think about. All right, so a deeper dive into TikTok. Age 10 to 19 initially, but there are, especially in the in America, TikTok is increasing. You see that 5.5 times in the last 18 months, a year and a half. It has increased in the older age groups 5.5 times. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. TikTok is the place to be for small businesses. Find your way there. Um, that's enough. I may say it again, but let's see what else I wrote. 60% are women. We know women are big consumers, educated and wealthy, and they're looking for news, discussion, and humor. So many of these TikTok videos are just funny. Some of them, like news or discussion, I like, again, the food people. I promise you, my feed is full of food people because it integrates with Facebook. And so I watch TikTok videos and love them. The content is short videos. You can use hashtags and links in your description. So I don't know if you've ever opened up a description on a TikTok video, but they'll have this huge list. I don't have my green screen, so my hands are disappearing. They'll have a whole list of hashtags because a hashtag, what it does is it categorizes you with other people that use that same hashtag. The same thing on Twitter, and Facebook uses it to an extent. So it groups you with other people who have used that hashtag. Um, People like to be entertained, humorous, and challenging, and see challenges. That is a cool thing on TikTok. There are, I don't know if you guys have seen, okay, another sidebar. There's this couple who, I think he's a police officer, and each day they try to trick each other with these cannons, that confetti cannons. So one time the wife was literally hiding in the kitchen cabinets, and when he came home from work, she like got him, and then they dropped the cannon. It is so funny. But just something, stuff like that. People just being themselves and being silly. This is who we are. One of the things that ranked high with TikTok is influencer marketing. So what those are people whose brand or influence is growing on TikTok or any social media. So they're not just for TikTok, but the ones on TikTok, since they're so early in it, you may be able to partner with them or say, hey, would you do my product? And if so, like, would you feature my product, and how much would I have to pay you for that? Because basically you're piggybacking on their influence. And so you're using that. It's just like if you were a celebrity back in the day, who would advertise for different brands. Now it's just everyday people who have grown their brand on social media, specifically TikTok, who are sometimes willing to wear your t-shirt or specifically say, oh, I love this new hair cream, or these candles are amazing. You should reach out to, I'm going to give my cousin a plug. I don't know if she's on here, but Cynthia or Felicia, who both do candles. They have amazing candles. You should try them. So that's all you're doing. You're just going. And if you go that route, make sure that influencers' audience is the same as your ideal customer. Just don't do random influencer because it's out there. You want to make sure it's your audience. But then you too can become the expert. I don't know if you guys know what bags is, but it's a game with these two. It's played outside, and or they call it cornhole sometimes, and you have to throw your bean bag into the hole. And so I've been following this guy who's really good at it, and every now and then he wears these different brand shirts or whatever. But the main thing is he's become an expert on cornhole. So people are watching him compete, and his audiences are growing. There's a young lady who sings on there, and she'll start a lyric. She'll be at work and she'll say, I won't sing because it could hurt people auditorially, but she would sing the first line of a song, and then her coworker, or now she's doing it at the airport, would sing along. And so she has grown her following just by being her, just walking around singing and stuff. So there's so many different ways to become expert. If you make candles, let me show my process to people. this is why I picked this scent, because if you mix this and this, it creates this amazing cooling scent, or these two colors in my wax will give me this look. Or I would recommend this warmer because these other warmers don't do as well. So there's so many ways you can become an expert on your products, and grow your audience. And then on this one, you should post 1 to 4 times per day. All right, let's see how we are. I'm looking at time, so I don't want to keep you guys past the time that I said I would. So we're at 40 minutes now. And so with this one, because again, I said there's a ton of different platforms. I couldn't do them all, so I grouped this last 3 together on one slide. Um, YouTube, Snapchat, and Pinterest. They're all worth looking into. Again, I mentioned YouTube before. Um, and for a minute, when I was doing the looking at this and doing the research, I really was like, At first, I didn't think of it as a digital marketing platform, but it is. It's videos. It's actually was probably predates YouTube in a sense. People have just migrated to different platforms, but it still has the potential to be useful to you. And so, even like as you have a website or whatever, you can, to save space, you can lead people from your YouTube channel to come to one. You can put your videos there, you can embed your video, but two, you can create this video on YouTube and say, hey, go and visit my website, where you would encourage them, of course, to buy your products or offer free downloads or any number of things that you have on your website. 1.7 billion users. 54% of those users are men, so that's something like we talked about earlier. Strictly video, but you can put links in the description. And this is another place that you want to become the expert in. You want suggested that you post 3 or more times per week, so it's not as labor intensive for posting, but your labor happens in your creation. So if you're creating video, there's the recording it, there's the editing it, and the uploading. So even though it's not saying to post as frequently as the others, there's kind of a front loaded amount of work that goes into even creating 1 to 3 videos. So just something to keep in mind. Snapchat, now I haven't, my kids are Snapchatters. So I haven't used this at all, actually. But according, and that makes sense as far as the age, but there's 319 million daily users, 18 to 24-year-olds. They have videos and images. And what's interesting, and I think what the kids like about it, is that their videos disappear after a set amount of time, and their images. So they decide how long they want to share it, and they can say who they want to share it with. So it really keeps it personal for them. But you can still use it as a business owner. You just want to, again, keep it short, brief, and engaging. So I'm going to have to do some more research to really help support you guys in this on this one, because full disclosure, I don't know a whole lot about Snapchat. So I had to do some research. Pinterest, 431 million active users, and they are aged 25 to 34 years, and more women than men, which makes sense. If you've ever used Pinterest, it's about pinning your things that you're interested in on your board, and then sharing those pins with people. And but 80%, this is what I found interesting. So 86% of Pinterest users also are on Instagram, which makes sense because they're both visual mediums. And so, if you're going to do one, you could do the other. So, like, there are Pinterest boards for, again, I keep using candles. If you're a candle maker, you can pin different things about your candles on your board to share out to the general public and to increase interest and get yourself populated under that category. Another one is, now this one, remember, user, you said about the retirement and posting the Facebook. Well, this one is 5 to 30 pins a day, which is a lot. But if you think about it, they're images. So it's not necessarily text that you're dealing with, it's images, but you can put text on your images so that it can serve a couple of different purposes and get your message out. So I'm going to breathe. We're at 45 minutes in. All right. So that right there concludes the social media platform discussion. I'm going to pause and allow time for questions directly related to any of those social media platforms. And I'm going to take a drink because, yeah, I've been talking 45 minutes now. So if you have any comments, go ahead and share. And questions too. I feel like I should do the Jeopardy music. Do 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 boop. Do 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 boop. Ba-dum bump 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 bump. All right. I think I gave enough time to type just in case. If you still have something that you're typing, feel free to add it. And I do apologize for singing. The next thing, so all of those platforms are graphic, image based. And you're probably all saying, like, I won't say all, but you're not graphic designers. You are business owners who had a vision and you now have a product that you want to sell. And so, how can you create all of this graphic stuff with the skill set that you have? Well, I can tell you there is a software, a site called canva.com. And I'm going to see if I can share my screen. Dr. Leith, we're going to see how this goes. I know right now you guys are probably still seeing my slides. So, but what I want to do now, so I want to see if I can, so how can you, okay, we have a question coming in. So how can I learn to schedule to post on Facebook, and what other platforms have a place to schedule? So, Twitter, you can schedule on. There's a software right now they're charging for, but it's called Hootsuite, that lets you schedule all of your social media to multiple places through their software. So they would post it for you. As far as how to schedule on Facebook, you need to have a page or a group, and you'll need to, let me look real quick here because I want to tell you right. And then what I can do too is at the end, I'm going to share my website. And then at some point, I am going to create some tutorials that will show you how to schedule on different platforms. So if you have a page or a group, Facebook has what's called Meta Business Suite. And basically, that is the space that you can go in and not only schedule your post, but look at the analytics for your post to see, like, you want to gauge, like, what is my return? I've been putting these out there. Are people actually seeing them? So if you go into, again, it's called Meta Business Suite, and you can go in there and you want to click on, I'm going to do this now, so you may not see what I'm doing because I'm actually inside of mine. But one quick second. I just want to tell you the right buttons to push. So there's a button called Publishing Tools, and under Meta Business Suites. This is, keep in mind though, this is if you have a page or a group, and you can go in there and you'll have the option to create posts. It'll show you all of your old posts that you've done. It'll show you the analytics on those, how they've done, who shared them. It'll show you comments people made. It helps you stay up to date on your Facebook interactions and stuff. So I hope that's helpful. And at the end, I'll give you my email address and my website, and we can just follow up later. So what is that software again? So the software that does multiple platforms is called Hootsuite, and it is spelled HOOTSUITE.com. Hootsuite, and they have a monthly um, subscription that you can go for. And you're welcome for the for the how-to videos. I'll get them up as soon as I can. All right, so we're down to 10 minutes. So I really want to show you Canva. So I'm going to try to share my screen. And if you guys can tell me if you see my screen and if you can hear me. So I'm going to share my screen. And I am sharing. So now you see the back door of this whole presentation thing. Okay, so hopefully, and I'm going to dip back onto my other screen. Hopefully you see my canva.com screen. And they have free graphics for you too, so you don't have to pay. I have a subscription, which kind of gives me some other options, and you're kind of seeing my secret sauce. So let's say, for instance, I'm just gonna click along here and show you all of the things that you can get through Canva. So you have videos, you have stories for Instagram, you can create an ad in here, you got Twitter, you got YouTube, you can create business cards, brochures, logos. If you're trying to create your own logo, stickers, yard signs, the list is pretty long, and it's pretty easy to use. So for instance, I'm going to go to social media. I hope you can see this. And I'm going to click Instagram posts. I don't want a blank one. I want them to show me some Instagram posts that I can use, because this is how, oops, click the wrong thing. Hold up, you guys. I'm coming. All right. Hopefully, there we go. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this. So all of these different things, now some are pay. So you see the crown that tells you have to pay. But these are all different formats: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can make videos with it. A whole bunch. You can create your branding colors and different things. So there's a lot you can do with Canva. And what I'll do, I just stopped the share. What I'll do is I'm going to go back to the share. Oh, I'm glad you can see it. Yay. Okay. I had to click out the window. What I'm going to do at some point too is create a Canva tutorial. In fact, you know what? Let me know for next month. Tell me which topic you guys want, so I can do, let's set up a Facebook group or page together, or I can do a tutorial on Canvas. So can you guys comment for me what your preference is? And we're going to go with whichever gets the most votes. So if you comment, that'll be next month's topic. So we have, I'm doing pretty good time-wise. So hopefully I'm back here, and we have about 7 minutes. So I'm going to show you, we have a few more slides. So in closing, these are some things that I really want you to take away from this conversation, if for nothing else. First thing is, you need to know your customer. Like, who are you selling to? Who is that person? Where are they at? What do they like to do? What are they interested in? Because you know what? Having that ideal customer, like I said at the beginning, is going to tell you which platforms to focus on. And it's just going to save you a lot of time, a lot of frustration, and a lot of resources, wasting resources. So just just figure that out for yourself. And I'll create, I was actually working on that last week. Like I said, a workbook. So I'll let you guys know when it's ready. The other part is, so I know we've talked a lot about selling your things on social media, and you do want to do that, but people on social media really want to know that you care and feel part of your community. You want to provide a service for them. So your primary thing is brand recognition. Like, I'm providing information that's connected to my brand, mind you. But I'm not just always selling you stuff, because if you're always selling stuff, people are going to disconnect from you. So become that expert, that resource that people can come to, and then you share your products because it's natural. It's not, you know, people just want to know that. So I see I have a vote for Canva. Um, the last thing is be consistent when you can. I know we all have a lot going on, but determine what you can manage in growing your brand. So if you can manage an hour at 5 o'clock in the morning on Thursdays, then commit to using that hour at 5 o'clock in the morning on Thursdays to schedule your social media posts. Schedule and create them. Use Canva, use Facebook Business Suite, use Twitter scheduling, use Hootsuite, but decide that that hour is exclusively for that purpose and start being consistent. Inconsistency, you're going to lose people. Nobody's going to follow you. But you show that you are consistent, and you're going to gain traction and grow brand recognition. All right, we got 4 minutes. Looks like, hey, you guys, looks like Canva's the winner right now. I'm just saying. Let me know if you guys have anything, some more. So this is me right here. Now, I shared this picture anyway. I like it. We took it at work because we're rebranding our website, and I didn't know I had my book bag on. So that's what the straps are. But the picture is really cute, I thought. So I wanted to share that. So, but you guys feel free to reach out to me. My website is websites by Kim.com, and there's my phone number, 309-360-1660. And I just want to share with you too, in closing, just a reminder, as I don't know if you guys should be able to see on the bottom of the screen that this is sponsored by Women Who Thrive. And so as you know, as part of Women Who Thrive, we have a website that has some resources, including you guys should be seeing the bi-weekly grants that are given out. So if you go to www.thrive.com, you can apply for those bi-weekly grants. And there are also some other resources available to you. And I also, I'm gonna make sure that you share. Again, as I said at the beginning. Oh, okay, I got you. I Facebook user that says, "I will, Kimberly. I need some help." I got you. So just reach out to me, okay? We got 2 minutes. So again, I just want to encourage your circle of women, because that is what Women Who Thrive is about. That's what doing this right here is about. It's about encouraging women to be the best them that they can be, to live through their gifts, to live through their faith. Dr. Leith has just done an amazing growing this, and so it can go farther, and it can do that with your help. So encourage your friends, encourage your family to become part of Women Who Thrive, to become part of the group, to check out the website, to join us on these monthly conversations. And I think that is it. I think, unless anyone, countdown 45 seconds. If I left enough time for anyone to say anything else. So I want to thank you again for joining me. I hope that this was helpful, and I want to thank Dr. Leith for giving me the space and trusting in me to do this and do it in a way that truly reflects the spirit of what Women Who Thrive is all about. So you guys have a blessed week, and I thank you for joining me today. And I have 15 seconds, and then we're done in 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye. You guys have a good week. Bye-bye.